parse the information. And then from that, we build these heat maps. And then the heat maps, the rows are essentially tasks and like what the agent did, and the columns are metrics. And then you can see these, like, it just lights up. Like, okay, the agent is really just sucks at this one thing. Like, it sucks at querying metrics and Datadog.
You're not the only person who's doing the heat maps.
And it works. When you see it, you're
really
like, well, how did we not do this before?
Yeah.
And then
you're like the third person who's told me that.
Yeah, and then it's easy to write an eval because you're like, okay, I just need an eval that can, help us query Datadog metrics. And then the next problem we ran into was creating these evals sometimes took like a whole week because you need live prod infra. And so then we built this is like a deeper topic, but like a simulation environment that modeled the production environment. So I was asking if you can get data dumps from your users, because in our case we couldn't, and so we had to like innovate on like the eval layer, the simulation layer.
That's very interesting. People do send their pipelines and some data to us, so it's very easy to debug for us. But I think the simulation idea is super interesting. But it also feels very bespoke.
You mean for the use case, or
yes,
and
not even just like Datadog simulation. Datadog log retrieval simulation is different from like, I don't know, like whatever other agents that you guys have. Like you probably have to build like an environment per agent to some extent, or build some spec per agent. Sure,
but so what we do is a little bit more akin to what like the SWE agent does with the SWE kit. And so you can have like there's a lot of similarity in the observability layer. So there's metrics, but there's like 20 different metric systems. But the idea of like a line graph or seeing metrics is not different. It's time series, right? Yeah. So you want your agent to operate at like the layer above that system. Of course, there's idiosyncrasies of the technology, but if you abstract that away, then there's transferability between those. So if you're good at like Datadog logs, you're probably good at OpenSearch logs.
And so you don't have to change much.
You don't have to change much.
That's nice.
And so often you can get dropped into, you can just plug in an MCP for a new logging system. As long as the integration works, it'll have good performance. It's not going to be 10 out of 10. There may be some unique things. Yeah.